Following video is going to concern lost media and something I'm trying to kind of pound into people's heads. If you have an old recording, doesn't matter how it's recorded, and someone detects a high frequency signal in it and claims it can only be after a certain date or before a certain date because of the signal only existing on TV or radio or whatever, please understand that you have to look for every source of the same kind of signal in order to not make a mistake here. So here we are with the basics here. I'm going to repeat it again. 19 kHz, if you get it in a recording, might indicate an unfiltered audio output from an FM stereo broadcast. It could also just be some random source. 25 cycles per second, a very low frequency, is used in AM radio, and you're probably not going to get that in-band audio coming through to indicate that that's a stereo AM signal. Okay, next. Television system stereo in-band pilot tones. These are pilot tones we're talking about first because people brought these up with lost media recordings of all sorts of songs. Phase alternation line, aka PAL, like Britain, 15,625 cycles per second. NTS color TV, 15,734 cycles per second. Most cheap electret condenser microphones used for older PCs can also pick up a TV set's flyback transformer high-pitched whine. And PAL, it's the same picture. NTS color, again. If you get exactly 15,750 cycles per second, then that would indicate it's a black and white TV circuit. Maybe, not always. Some of them had a variation between them. And that's just the noise that comes off the back of a cathode ray tube TV set. Computer monitors that are CRT based usually did 30,000 cycles per second, but a few of them, audiovisual types, used for multimedia work, will also do all of the above and many, many more. And it should also be pointed out you get overtone effect because a flyback signal is not a pure tone. Okay? And to review, the umpteenth time this month, I've seen another YouTube video saying that the song Everyone Knows That had to be a TV broadcast. This is literally just not true and has never been. Please stop saying that. I understand that it was on the original postings and people believed it, and I understand why. I even thought it at the first time. I had to post a video explaining that I was completely wrong because of, this shit here being real. And by the way, if you're not aware of it, yes, if you do an audio recording with a electret condenser microphone on old PCs and do a recording on a decent quality recorder or just a computer sound sampler, which is the situation for Carl 92 for that song that he recorded, it sounds very consistent everywhere in the room. Unless you move the mic just to the right spot where it cancels itself out, it's going to be in the room. Trust me, I spent a long time being able to hear it. It's very annoying. Now let's move on. The most mysterious song on the internet Wikipedia page is receiving yet another person claiming to know exactly who did the song Like the Wind and offered proof. Person doubting it, a person close to the band or the entities that were supposed to create it, named Robert Wolf, has called in this can't recognize the voice of the vocalist, and also that the drum track sounds like a Linn drum studio machine, which is what everybody else came to a conclusion at. So I don't believe this is a useful thing. This is a claim that was posted here, and it sounds like someone talking themselves up. December 2nd, 2023. And I think it should be removed because it has a source, but it isn't necessarily valid. Now I want to point out that the song Like the Wind, the most mysterious song on the internet, yet another lost media content, is done in English. I don't care if the original country it came from is a different language. It's almost exclusively in English. Almost every discussion about it is. Now, a lot of this information here sounds plausible. In fact, it sounds like a perfect answer. That's cool. But let's get on to the page that provides the evidence. It's entirely in German, which annoys me because the song is literally just sung in English. So it's the English version of it. And the claim is the band had a German-only version of the song here, transliterating it to English, which might account for some of the peculiarities in the song. Okay, and it's supposed to be in this booklet, which I'm going to show you in a minute. But they don't put up an English language version of this, at least not prominently, and more importantly, they don't have an English language version of this page, which only limits this to, Austrians and Germans and that sort of things. So here's their evidence. And it's a JPEG to death, not zoomed in when you could image. There's the entire word. The entire thing. And this resolution isn't good enough to read at all. It should be. Okay, now I'm going to explain a little thing here. When you present information over the internet, you have to be completely mindful of the fact that it'll be very difficult for people to read it if it's JPEG'd, and very difficult if you shrink it. Out of all the things you zoomed in on that we got clear here, the only thing you should have had would be this page. Literally chop it down. Hell, tip it to the left or right for the cell phone viewer meme if you want. Anyway, it says Ronnie, Urini, and I can't read it because I don't know the language. Psychopunk, something else. Dem Wiener. Okay. And then Underground. So, and it seems to open from this side. So this looks like this is a single page folded in half that has that information in it. Now, when I get the computer to behave itself, we see this side, which appears to be the underside of this sheet. And we see this here. This seems a little bit of a discrepancy here of some sort. I'm not sure what I'm seeing here, but this looks like the underside of this sheet here. So that just looks unusual. I don't know why it was done that way. Okay. Next, I was told by every web page that brought this up that there's an English language version of it and it matches the lyrics. And we don't see any more of this data. And I'm sure I'm missing something because, surprise, surprise, I don't speak the language, and I'm not seeing the words printed out in English and German side by side here. Obviously, I must be making a stupid mistake. So, that's it for today about the most mysterious song on the internet as of December 2nd, 2023, being claimed by some group to be associated with a specific band and group, and I'll put them in the title. And also, again, for the umpteenth damn time, if you hear a ultrasonic signal in an audio recording, if you can discern it, don't just limit it to believing that it had to be from a specific era like I did. I made the same mistake, deciding it couldn't be any older or any newer than a certain day, because it could have been any color TV set in the room making the noise in this case. And in some cases, I mean, if you see, 15,750 cycles per second in an audio recording as a spike, that means it was a black and white TV set in the room. I mean, that's pretty definitive. But then again, here's some more data. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. Sorry for the rant.